All right, and welcome back to another episode of the Perspective Podcast, Sports Edition. I got my brother Tevin here in the building with me tonight. What's going on, Tevin? How you doing, bro?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm good. Living life and enjoying it. I'm good.
I know that's right, bro. Ain't much else you can really do during these times. We've been locked up in the house for so long, so it's about that time we start living again, right?
Right. Getting out the house, doing most stuff, taking some trips. It's been good.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So the last time we potted, it was the All-Star draft, and it was it was a couple days before Super Bowl as well. So the Super Bowl came and went. Rams ended up getting that championship. So salute to the Rams. The All-Star draft event was hilarious. In between Bron and KD and the whole James Harden debacle, right there at that point in time. And so right here, being April 1st, it is the back end of the NBA season. Every team that's really important right now, as far as in the playoff contention, they have about anywhere in between 6 and 8 games to go down the stretch. And man, is it looking it's for some of these teams, it's kind of it's a dire situation. It's a dire situation for some of these teams, and a lot has happened since that last time we potted there. We Rome, yourself, and me, we kind of thought everything would stay packed. Everything is upside down.
Right. It's crazy.
At this point. And so first we'll go ahead and kick it off. We'll go ahead and get going with the Eastern Conference. I think the biggest question mark in the Eastern Conference was about Kyrie. And now that New York City has lifted the mandate vaccine policy, Kyrie is now a full-time NBA player once again, and he plays home games and road games now. And so with this being, with everything being lifted, what do you think about the Kyrie situation, and how do you feel like this will pan out for the Nets, as they're currently sitting at number 8 right now?
Man, well, number one, definitely need him because they ain't have outside of KD without Kyrie, it ain't nobody to score the basketball. Like I be watching games and I'm like, man, if KD ain't giving you 40 to 45 a game, it's hard for them to get to 100.
Yeah.
With the roster they got. I mean, Patty Mills, he's a good player, but you can't rely. I mean, he shouldn't be a third option to rely on to get to a good 15. And what they got Seth now though, don't it? Too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Seth is there starting to.
Yeah, Seth is starting to guard. Like, I'm not expecting him to give me a good 18 to 20 points every night. Like if he do, it's cool, but he ain't really built like that to be averaging that many over the course of a season. So they needed that offense bad because their defense is so terrible. The only way they're gonna do something is they gotta outscore you.
Yeah.
And KD and Kyrie probably they probably the two best offensive players in the league, like skill set wise, like when you combine everything, like they really don't got too many weaknesses on the offensive side of the court. So the Nets, they've been bad this year. They've been real bad. Like KD playing 40 minutes a game, 40 minutes a game, 39 minutes. I'm like, that's too many minutes. This dude just had Achilles
And a quad.
Achilles tear 2 years ago. I'm like, that's a lot of right. I'm like, that's a lot of miles on that body, and he out there doing it on both ends. He's trying to give it to you, and they had a lot of injuries too. With they bigs being out like Aldridge and Griffin, so that's why he been playing some extra minutes, playing the 4 and the 5 sometimes. But yeah, they need Kyrie coming back, gonna help them a lot. But I, you know, I don't. I don't know. I still got to wait and see because he got to come back and they got to get that chemistry together because they ain't been playing at all this year because he played one game, sit out one game. Now he's coming in full rotation. Yeah, I got to see their whole roster together. But just Kyrie and KD, man, in that Eastern Conference this year, it ain't to me. It ain't gonna be enough.
Yeah, the East is it's better than expected, and it was. I feel like we said that last year, but that's
close the door.
Yeah, but that's a a sign of everything like improving. That's like the talent all across the board, from the West, the East, just it's just balanced talent just across the board. And so with especially with the Kyrie thing, right? Whenever we see Kyrie, good news is he's got fresh legs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And whenever we see him, it's like an all-time performance. Like every time we see him, it was like I believe he gave somebody 60 earlier this year. I know for sure he gave Orlando like 50. Granted, Orlando is a young team, but he gave them that work. Um, it was, and I feel like the Bucks and the Nets, I feel like they put every single one of their games on national TV. I'm so sick of seeing the Bucks and the Nets on national TV. However, last time Kyrie played in Milwaukee, he put up a really good performance. And so yeah, the only place where Kyrie won't be able to play is in Toronto, as they still have their vaccine mandate still in place. So I think if everything works out for the Nets, and if the bracket falls in their favor, then they have a they have a good shot. But like you say, defense is not their forte. It's led by Steve Nash, and we all know Steve Nash.
Is
Not really,
being super exposed as a coach.
yeah. And we're gonna talk about Steve Kerr as well, possibly being exposed as a coach as well. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, but, but that's a little bit later on. And so, but yeah, I'm happy to see that Kyrie is back, and also with Kyrie standing on, 10 toes in his belief, and not being vaccinated or not vaccinated. If you're into it, you're into it. But if not, I would just respect a man for standing firm in his decision and not bowing down to the powers that be. So I do respect that. Um, where's Ben Simmons? which that leads me to my biggest question: where's Ben Simmons?
Uh, he on the sideline watching the
Okay,
game.
iced up,
Uh,
looking good.
bro. Oh yeah, he clean. He clean on the sideline. He fresh, but I don't know. I'm thinking he not playing because first I thought it was mental issues, and then I thought okay he trying to get in shape, and now they're saying he got a herniated disc. I'm like, so he was hurt the whole time? Was he his mind wasn't right? Was he not in shape? What am I to believe?
Exactly. I just want the
So
truth.
right, just tell me the truth. I just want to know what's going on because this was the main person. This was your centerpiece of the big trade you'd have made for the season, and now he ain't stepped a foot on, ain't played a minute
Nobody's
yet.
nobody's basketball floor.
Right. I don't even know if he practicing. He probably not. So I don't. Yeah, They need to get that together because he's the only. I ain't gonna, he probably is the only hope for them trying to get out the East because he's the best. He'll be the best defender hands down on the team. He can
Agree.
go. He can go 1 through 4 for sure. Even some of the smaller fives, he can put them on him. Then on offense too, he's another playmaker and like an attacker at the goal. Not somebody that can push the pace on the fast break, finish at the rim. Uh,
Get
and
other
he'll
people open shots.
right. He can Kyrie and KD will be playing off of him. They can do a whole bunch of different stuff offensively, and they need him bad. And plus, like if he don't, I don't know when he coming back. If he come back for the playoffs, like how how's that gonna be a fit?
Yeah.
The chemistry, like we ain't played together all year, and now you coming back in the 7 game series where we lose 4 games, we gone. We going home. And we lose 4 out of 7.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to believe. I just hope that when he come back he's healthy. Hopefully he can improve his game in some aspects, so he can be a better player, more complete player and like help Brooklyn get to where they really trying to go because KD, he's what, 34, 33?
33 sounds about right. 33 sounds about right.
I think KD 33. So he really not as young as one would think. So he ain't got too many. I don't know how many more prime years we're gonna have him where he can like put on this scoring, just be scoring at this type of level. So they traded James Harden for Ben Simmons so they can compete for championship within the next next year or two.
Yep.
So we need to see him on that court because they need him and people waiting to see him too. Like no matter how much people was booing him, trash talking him, like we just wanted to see him be the best Ben Simmons that he could be. So
Absolutely.
we are just really waiting on that to see like if he gonna turn out to be the player that we all wanted him to be
Yeah.
when he came out of college.
Because at this point, it's like what Ben's been in the league since 16, 17, or the 17, 18 season. Regardless, he's about 5 years in. Am I right?
I believe this is year 5 because he sat out his first year, second year. I think he sat out his first year, didn't he? Because he was hurt, wasn't
He did. Yeah, he messed up his knee. His
he?
knee
Yeah,
was bad.
the second year he won Rookie of the Year and made all. Then he made like 3 All-Star teams in a row. So I think this is year 5 or 6 for him. I think it's probably year 6.
So let's just say it is out of 6 years, right? Let's just give him the ceiling. That's 2 years you pretty much missed.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's 2 years that you've completely missed, and years that you've wasted with the process, and years that a full year, well, half of a season that you're missing with the best scorer in basketball, the best 2 scorers in basketball right now. At no matter what level, KD scores from everywhere, Kyrie scores from everywhere, and Kyrie scoring package is ridiculous. Like, y'all know how I feel about Kyrie, but I agree with you. I think Ben Simmons is the key to that offense, really to that team, because he's 6'10". He classified as a point guard, but I absolutely hate that. But and hopefully, what I'm saying, we just get a chance to see Ben Simmons actually show improvements to his game and not just be the same regular Ben Simmons, pick and roll, drive to the rim, kick and dish. I want to see a couple. I want to see a couple elbow jumpers. I want to see a couple free throw line jumpers. I don't need to see you shooting corner threes like you.
Right.
You know
I
what I'm
don't need
saying?
that.
Yeah, like you, Marcus Smart or A.B. Bradley or P.J. Tucker. Like, I don't need to see that. Like, I just need to see smart possessions, quality jumpers, and when you open, take them. It's an easy game, right?
Right. He
So
be making it too hard. He be making it too hard. I'm like, bro, just take your little open jump shots and you will be fine. Get you a couple posts, get you a couple of post move, a counter, then you'll be all right. Just be aggressive. You'll be all right.
right, just keep staying aggressive and you'll be a-okay. And then so from that point, pivoting from the Nets, we're going to talk about the Celtics here for a second, because the Celtics, they definitely made a huge push. I believe at the last time that we talked, the Celtics were sitting at they were somewhere in between 4 and 6, or I think they may have been even a little bit lower.
I'm about to say I think they probably like 7, maybe 7, 8. They was bad.
Yeah, they were looking really bad. They were looking really, really bad. And now the Celtics, they've taken advantage of their schedule. They've had some really weak teams on their schedule, and they've pummeled every single weak team that's been on their schedule.
Right.
And so I believe over the weekend, the Celtics had the number 1 seed, but they've dropped a couple games here and they've slid back to the number 3 spot. They're currently sitting at 48-30, the number 3 spot in the East. The only teams that are ahead of them are the Bucks and the Heat.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the Celtics team? And as I know that your defensive player of the year pick, he just went down, which I hate that because he was looking good.
Bro, you see how they do it. I picked Sam.
You did.
Over a year ago. I picked him to win defensive player of the year. I told y'all that boy is special on defense.
That's right.
I ain't seen too many people get off the floor that quick to block shots in my life and be able to guard pick and rolls and post ups too and block jump shots. I ain't seen nobody like that in a long time. So yeah, that's gonna be a big blow to them because I don't trust they backup big like that. Mean Horford got moved back to the 5 where he been thriving at the 4 with them. And they start lining up with him and Williams in the front. Like that's what really kind of turned their game around. Now they got, I think, ain't Tice back on the team?
Yeah, Tice is back on the team. The Rockets released him, but I mean that's a Brad Stevens pickup. That's a Brad Stevens guy. Pardon me. He's got like tonight. Daniel Tice played 29 minutes. He played 29 minutes tonight. 10 quality points, 8 quality rebounds, and 29 minutes of action in their win over the Pacers tonight.
He's a very good hustle player. Like I give him that. He's gonna come off the bench and hustle and do all that stuff. But when you gotta rely on Daniel Tice to be your starting center, your team ain't gonna do much because he was getting DNPs in Houston for a reason.
Yeah.
So, man, that's gonna be a big blow. But let me give the coaches and the team they credit. Well, let me start off with the coach. Udoka came out. They were struggling. I was like, man, like this team, they got some talent. They too talented to be playing like how bad they playing. But it was one day around sometime early January. He called them out. Pretty much, he called out the team. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he called out the team, pretty much saying, "Hey, y'all got to get it right." And he got on them, and I was like, okay, well now you got on them. Let's see if you make some adjustments or whatever. He made adjustments. He put the ball. He got Schroeder up out of there. Put the ball in Marcus Smart's hands, which ain't always the best thing, but it's way better than having the Schroeder.
It worked out.
Yeah, then but to offset that, that's when he put Horford in at the four. And now Horford is like another playmaker for him. So Smart don't have the ball as much all the time, and he keep his rotation small. I don't. He every time I watch, I don't think they play more than like 9 people, 8 or 9 people. Like he got a small rotation, so they just been going with that, playing defense, and I think they are 30-7 in their last 37 games.
They're doing it. They're doing it.
After being one of the worst teams I ever seen. When I saw them, their shot selection was horrible. Defense was nothing. But he got into them. The players bought in. They turned it around. And also, like Tatum has upped his game to pretty much almost like that superstar level. Like if he ain't superstar, like he right under there. Like he playing like a top 8 to 10 guy.
He about to break the ceiling.
Yeah, he playing like a top 8 to 10 player. Like, and that's what you need from your star player. Like I was like, but he's only like 23, 24. So I'm like, he had to get. He's still learning. So, but he's starting to get it. His efficiency is going up tremendously from 3 and from 2. He's just playing. He playing way smarter offensively and defensively. He always been a good defender. So he's leading by example, and the team kind of just like corralled around one another. They like, man, we're too talented. Even though we're not deep, but the talent we have is good enough that if we play together, we should be able to compete at a high level with anybody in the conference. So I'm Udoka, he earned all my respect. Him and that team, everybody on that team.
Right. And that's one thing that I definitely echo that, like, especially what you say in regards to coach, and even in regards to just their roster, like their talent. In 2016, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals with bronze Cavs. You know what I mean? And then they took mad steps backwards, and the roster hasn't really changed like at all. You know what I mean? Like the roster is pretty much still intact. It's pretty much everybody that's still there. So it's good to see that this team is starting to be able to put it together. I like Jason Tatum, but I'm a Jaylen Brown fan in particular. And tonight is a good example of just what they can really do. Like Jason Tatum had 31, Jaylen Brown had 32. Tatum had 31, 6 and 6. Brown had 32, 3 and 7. Both of them. Brown had a real efficient night, 12 of 18 from the field altogether. Yeah. And to your point about how many people he plays, they only played 8 people tonight. You're starting 5. Then they had Derek White that they got from the Spurs, and Pritchard from the Ducks, Oregon, and Grant Williams as well.
That boy White has been a godsend for them because he come off that bench and he's able to play both guard positions. That's what they struggled to. They ain't have no really backup 2 guard, but he can come off the bench and play pretty much both positions, just like another player we're gonna talk about when we talk about the Western Conference, Dinwiddie for Dallas.
Yep.
So White came in and he don't turn. He from San Antonio. He ain't turning the ball over either. So he came in fit, and he was fit right in.
Yeah, he is.
So that's been a big help for them too.
Yeah. And so I think the Celtics are pretty much positioned themselves to finish up in the top. I got the Celtics finishing in the top 4 in the East, no matter how things shake out. I definitely have them finishing top 4. And which leads me to the team at the top of the East. The Miami Heat. All right, number 1. Let's go back about 2 weeks ago. Did you see the exchange between Coach Spo and Jimmy Butler and Udonis Haslem?
Mm-hmm.
What do you take from that? Just from seeing that, like what you take from that?
I took from it somebody called Jimmy Butler about something,
And they were playing the Warriors, by the way. They were playing the Warriors without Steph Curry that
night. I'm pretty sure somebody inferred something about how he was playing, or the team or whatever. He pretty much took up for him somehow. He took it personally or whatever, and he took up for him. And the coach was like, he was like, wait, why you want to fight? And the coach was offended about what he said. And UD was like, you saw Hazel saying, well, go, we on your team, we on your side. Go tell them that. But I guess Jimmy just, I don't know what happened before all that, but Jimmy just had enough of it. So he got on everybody.
Yeah.
And then him and Haslam got into a yelling match because Haslam, you know.
Speak the truth. speak the truth. That's why I asked you first.
I mean, I don't know if people know how I feel about Haslam, but he's been with the Heat for a long, long time. And he gets a lot of respect from people, especially around the basketball community and fans and stuff like that. But he been in the league longer than LeBron, for 20 years, I believe. I ain't seen him put a hand on nobody.
Not
only time he did something was when he did something to Dwight Howard, like poke or something like that.
I'm talking about young Dwight Howard.
No, he did to the old Dwight Howard when he first got to Miami. It was like, when he first got to the Lakers, it was about 2 years ago. When Dwight walked up on him and knocked him over, and then he got up and like pushed him, or Dwight hit his hand or something like that.
That was actually the cover art. That was last season.
We had the 5-minute fade section. Everybody was fighting that week. It had like 4 people trying to fight that week. So I went back and watched him, because I was like, where the hell did he get all this respect from? So I went back and watched some old highlight clips of him fight. I saw him run up on David West. He ain't put his hand on David West. Who else he ran up on? I can't even remember nobody else he ran up on. That's all I remember. But anyway, Haslam ain't putting his hand. He ain't putting his hands on nobody. And I saw people on Twitter and stuff saying Haslam would have did this and did that. I'm like, bro, he's 40 plus years old. Jimmy Butler is 30 and in shape. Yeah. You ain't, and about the same size. You ain't about to just beat him up, because he actually gets in the game and plays. Haslam sits and talks. Like, that's his job. So Jimmy would have told Haslam up.
Yep.
I would have been laughing, because all this respect he gets from the hood and what else would have been finally gone. Cause I'm tired of it. First of all, he need to go home.
For real though, they would have pulled that Dade County card real quick.
He need to go home, because I don't know what he ain't bring no value to the team to me. He just taking up a check. That could be somebody else's check, getting a free NBA check. But he's old behind on the habit. He need to go coach.
Yeah, but just join the coaching staff. Like, you don't have to suit up, baby. You don't have to suit up every night.
Who like just going to practice just to practice? That's what he like. That's like, oh, let me. I want to be on the team so I can practice. Huh? Like, dude, what are you doing? So yeah, he wouldn't. Nobody was gonna fight, because Jimmy don't be putting hands on nobody either. From all the stuff I've seen. But
everything that's happening in Philly, Minnesota, everywhere else, like he not putting hands on nobody. He gonna bark at you.
Oh yeah,
he gonna bark at you, but he ain't gonna.
Both of them talk a good game, but I ain't never seen nobody run no fade, and I ain't never heard no story about nobody running no fade.
We ain't bring 5 minutes of fade back in a minute for a reason.
So all that yelling and stuff, I was like, it's whatever. Then Stoll, I saw him grab the clip. He was arguing, went back at the clipboard to come back and throw. I was like, what is going on? This team is in chaos.
A plus clipboard slam. Like, I've never seen a clipboard hit the floor and no papers like go anywhere. Like,
but who gets so mad that while they argue, they're like, hold on, let me go grab my clipboard just so I can throw it on the ground.
Right. Like, what are you doing? Like,
the team was just in chaos because they've been playing bad. Well, they ain't been playing their best. They've been getting beat by teams without their star players, like with backups. Like Steph and Clay didn't play that game, I think, and they got blew out by the Warriors. Then they got blew out the night before, I think, by Milwaukee, maybe, without Middleton or Giannis, one of them, something like that. But I think they'll get the shit back, on track once the playoffs come around, because you know how Miami do it. They turn up their defense, they get more focused. They got the pieces to make a deep run. Like, they got the experience, they got the shooting. They got a player they can get the ball to make a bucket when it's time. So and they got Lowry running the show at point guard, controlling the game. So I'm not too concerned. I don't think personally they'll win it all or come out to be representing the East. But if they do, would I be surprised? No, because of the pieces they got from top to bottom, like that they can put on the floor and the coach. I believe in the coach. I believe in the system. So yeah, that was just a strange day about two guys who really ain't trying to fight, but want to make it seem like they are.
Right. And I think it was more than anything, it was just it's just one of those, we've all been in huddles and we've all had arguments with the homies and everything between. And I just take it as that's what that was. That was just an argument between coach, player, player and somebody that just suits up. Um and that's all that really was. Like I don't take much else from that. Like
Right.
I think it's just heat of the moment. Things are going our way, difference of opinion, and it's mad cameras around to catch everything. Now, as
Right.
far as
And mad people around the breakup, whatever might even pop up.
exactly, I totally agreed. And I think everything else aside from that, as far as the Miami Heat, I don't think that they have enough offense to really just beat anybody. Like if you go down and you just kind of look at the Eastern Conference, they have nobody that can stop Milwaukee as far as in the paint. So that's where Giannis wins. The Celtics might be their best matchup if everything fell correctly for them, because I feel like they can beat the Celtics. The Sixers, I don't know. We talking about the Sixers next, actually. So
Yeah.
uh, so so yeah, with that one's to be determined. Rather, the Bulls, I don't think they have enough offense to
Yeah, I don't.
outscore us.
Me neither. Me neither.
Toronto, that might be their way to, kind of skate by.
Mm-hmm.
If they got matched up with Toronto or Cleveland, or it's really just those teams. It's Boston, Toronto, and Cleveland. Those would be the only teams that they could really just get by with. So I like Coach Spo. I really do believe in his system. I do believe in the Miami Heat culture, but I feel like they just don't have enough offense to really carry themselves. And as if they lose one piece, that's anywhere in between 8 to 18 points that you're missing that you're
Right.
not going to make up from nowhere else. So I don't think the Heat have enough to keep it going. And so yeah, I think the Heat, they're just playing really well. I don't think that the bubble thing was a fluke. I think they're a team that's like whenever you just sit there and you lock them in, they have nothing else to do. That's just a team of just dudes that just gonna go out and go hoop. You know what I'm saying? But they're not a team full of hoopers, if that makes
Right.
sense. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's just my take on the Heat. And so here we go. Transition to the 76ers. After this massive trade here, Ben Simmons for James Harden, and Andre Drummond was a part of that deal. Seth Curry was a part of that deal, and a handful of picks were a part of that deal. Now, aside from the picks, my personal opinion, and the question is, has James Harden made the 76ers a worse team? My answer is yes. Because I've seen enough of James to know if it's major games on the board, he's going to disappear. I've seen James Harden with my own two eyes. I've seen James Harden long enough in H Town to know he's going to disappear. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Joel Embiid was playing at a supreme MVP level prior to the trade. Post trade, not so much. And so how do you feel about this so far with the 76ers and the new look 76ers with James Harden so at this moment?
I mean, the first few games it started off real good. Everybody was hyped and excited, and they came in and they Harden came in with the beat, and they steamrolled over like the first, I think, like 2 or 3 games. They just beat down whoever they played. But those I
The
can't
Knicks and
remember.
Magic.
Yeah, I don't think they played the Knicks twice. I think it was like the Knicks, Magic, Knicks.
Yep.
So you're gonna beat y'all better. Y'all going to
Should
beat those teams. Yeah,
you better is right.
yeah, y'all going to beat those teams. So that kind of gave them not a false sense of hope because you got two superstars obviously on the court. But what they gotta remember is when Harden comes to your team, the offense changes. So all the stuff you was running with Seth when he was there, and who else they gave up? They gave up Seth and Ben
Drummond
Simmons. Well, Ben ain't
says,
played much this year, but yeah, when Ben was on the court, Ben, Seth, and Drummond was on the court, plays that you ran for Embiid and the plays that you ran for Seth Curry and the other few shooters that y'all have, you're not gonna run them over because Harden, his strength is with the ball. So your offense is going to change. So that's what they dealing with right now, changing the offense on the fly. Like Harden ain't the guy who he passes the ball, but his strongest asset is him scoring the basketball. So it's like you are changing your system on the fly. So they get Doc has to put in some different call some different plays, drop some different stuff, use different sets to maximize him, but also maximizing B. And it's kind of hard when you got a ball dominant perimeter player who isn't necessarily great off the ball to play with a big man like Embiid and both of them flourish. Like they can, they try to do the Kobe and Shaq thing or whatever, but the reason Kobe and Shaq was so good is because Kobe can play off the basketball.
yep.
Like he's really a better. Kobe don't really need the basketball to go. Like he don't have to grab it, do some dribbles, get 5, 6 dribbles and get a shot. Nah, he can run off something, pin down, get it, one dribble, shoot it, catch and shoot it. Like he was just a scorer in that way. Slash and cutting to the goal. He was a more overall dynamic offensive player. But Harden, his strength is I need the ball, I need a hit. Somebody set me the screen. You roll up pop and just let me read it and do my thing.
That's
That's
it.
that's what his game is. That's what he's turned it into. So they going through that phase, and then you lose Seth Curry again. Like that's a bigger loss than what they thought because those threes he was making. Now you relying on Maxi. He's a second year player.
Yep,
I think
Maxi and Tobias
Max.
Harris, which has been like this.
Right, He Tobias only plays good when he's like when he's the second option,
Yeah,
but he's not good enough to be your second option on the championship team. So when he's the third option, he's kind of out there lost, not lost, but he's doesn't really know his place, and he don't be aggressive. He starts to drift and get lost, and lost in the sauce.
yeah.
So those three steps was making you got Maxi shooting them, you got a 300-year-old Danny Green shooting them, and you got Tybal shooting them who can't shoot a lick, and then you got Tobias Harris who's up and down all the time. Now those and Korkmaz, and come on now,
Yeah.
Korkmaz, really?
It's not moving the needle. It's not
Yeah.
moving the needle. It's like
These are not guys I would count on to make big 3-point or jump shots and and needed moments in the playoffs or even in the playoffs, even in the regular season. I don't really they jump shot be also playoffs. I'm not trusting it. So that's what they're going through is that offensive change, and Doc is trying to figure out how in the world I'm gonna get the best out of both of these superstars that I got because the B's play has went down with that because he's not getting those same touches in the same spots on the floor. So yeah, that's what they have to figure out, and they only got like what 6, 7, 8 games up to figure that out. So yeah, they need to get on the ball.
it's do or die for them. It's literally do or die for them. And to your point, and that's exactly where I was going there. I think that there's some type of first of all, what I love about Doc, right? Doc is gonna hold you accountable. And he hold everybody feet to the fire. Uh we know it's issues. Him and Rondo had issues in Boston. Him and Ray Allen had some issues, along with Ray Allen's issues with the rest of the squad. But Doc is he a championship coach. He gonna hold you to the fire. And I found it interesting last night because the 76ers, they lost to the Pistons last night. Home stretch of the season. Embiid and Harden are playing. The Pistons have nothing to play for, and yet you still go up to Detroit and you lose. That's telling. After the game, what's even more telling, James Harden tried to pass blame to the bench. And Doc looked at it, and after the reporter repeated James's quote, Doc was like, "No, that's not the. I can't put that on the bench. The bench did what they could do, but his exact words were, I I think it has to do a little bit more with James, which is to your point about James having to adjust to the offense and Doc having to meet James halfway in the middle. But who's to say James isn't really like trying to meet the rest of the squad halfway in the middle? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's some issues there in Philly. Um there's definitely some things that need to be worked out, and especially on the back end of the season. You fighting for playoff position. You shouldn't be dropping no games to nobody at this point
Especially
at
now
this point.
Detroit, like
Right.
team used to walk through with those two players.
Exactly. Like you should be able to come in. Both of y'all should have put up 30. Somebody could have had 35, 40, and that could have been lights out for everything in Detroit. But once again, it's the 76ers. I do believe that the 76ers have become a worse team since James Harden has joined the team. And what's interesting is it's always reports and things of that nature that's out there. But I did see something that said Doc Rivers and Daryl Morey, they're not really on the same page.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So if we peek back behind the curtain, if we kind of look at some things, we look at things in uh, from an overview, right?
Yeah.
Mike D'Antoni is not on the Nets anymore. James Harden is not on the Nets anymore. Daryl Morey used to, I think he traded for James Harden in Houston. Mike D'Antoni coached James Harden in Houston. On a scale of 1 to 10, what are the chances that Doc does not come back next year and Mike D'Antoni is the coach of the team next year of the 76ers?
That doesn't come back.
1 to
I
10.
think I'm gonna keep it as a 3. I put it as a 3, only because I feel like the only way Doc wouldn't come back is if they get outed. If they get outed in the first round for sure, I don't think he's coming back. Second round, I'll be like, if they lose the second round, I'll say I have a be like more 60% chance he comes back. It'll be like 60-40, it'll be close. But anything past the second round, he definitely coming back. But I think only a first round exit would guarantee him not coming back,
And so
especially with that team.
if I put you in the GM seat and I just gave up 3 quality players, I gave up a All-Star, a 6-man of the year candidate, and a quality role player in Andre Drummond. A quality meaning rebounds, second chance points, things of that nature. Not too much, but quality player.
Yeah.
And a handful of picks. What point do you put things at the coach's feet? Is it the first round exit? Like is first round exit like a potential first round exit? Is that what it is? And then that's just it? Or is it, hey, maybe I need to go get a couple more pieces for the team?
I guess it always go by play about a situation. Like you got to look at what happened, like how we lost, if people hurt or something. All that. I think that in little account. But I'm just looking at it from I got 2 of 10. I still have 2 of the 10 best players in the NBA.
Agreed.
Harden is kind of he's in that mix. So I got 2 of the 10 best players in the NBA. My team should be fighting for that conference final. Like conference should be in the conference final.
Yeah.
So anything other than that, especially against some of those teams at the bottom of the East, like come on now, y'all losing to Cleveland. Cleveland ain't been nothing since LeBron left. Y'all, if they lose, who else at the bottom of the East? You said Toronto. Come on, Toronto ain't done nothing since Kawhi left.
Yeah, Toronto.
They young too, so that we should beat them down.
Yeah, and I mean it's playing situation, but it's the bottom 6. Well, the bottom group is Toronto, Cleveland, Brooklyn, Charlotte, and Atlanta.
Okay, now you definitely should try to run away from Brooklyn. If they lose to Brooklyn, I would. That's not a knock because they really are one of the top teams in the league. They just had a whole bunch of issues before the playoffs. That's
Yeah.
just how the seed fell. But all
And
the
some
other
of those
teams,
old issues are now on that team.
yeah. So all the other teams, y'all they should blow out. But if they lose to one of them, I don't think because of his track record, so his teams underperforming in the playoffs, I'd be like, Daryl probably be like, you know what? Let's get off this early. I'd rather get off the train early than get off, than possibly miss my stop and now I'm stuck and gotta wait to come back, So yeah, it's a lot on the line because if they don't win a championship within the next 3 years for sure, like that trade was a failure pretty much,
Big failure.
in my opinion.
Plus, you gave up all them picks. So, and then this is something interesting I'm seeing just kind of like in real time. For the first time in a long time, the Eastern Conference has 10 teams over 500, and the Western Conference has a group of teams that could possibly make the playoffs that are below 500. The Clippers are 38-40, Pelicans are 33-43, Spurs are 32-45, and the Lakers are sitting at number 11. We'll talk about the Lakers in a minute coming up, or in a few coming up. And the Lakers are currently 31-45, but they're playing the Pelicans right now, as I think both of us are tuned into that game currently. And so that's just something interesting just to kind of see there, as you mentioned, the bottom half. And so pivoting from the 76ers, I would love to see the Sixers kind of get it together, but to be determined with their roster and everything between. But pivoting to my Chicago Bulls, for the first time in years, feels like I think it was like the 14-15 or either the 15-16 season, we have a quality team. We have a team that is pretty much set for the playoffs, knock on wood. Hopefully we don't lose anything else down the stretch. Saturday, we have the Miami Heat coming up. So that's going to be a really, really, really big test. Oh boy, Anthony grabbing his ankle. My bad. Okay. He's shooting his free throws. Yeah, the Chicago Bulls currently sitting at the number 5 seed, 45-32. DeMar DeRozan had a 50 burger for the Clippers last night. Shout out to Paul George for that incredibly dumb 3-point foul that he had last night that allowed us to go to overtime. On top of a classic Clippers meltdown. And I feel like that's just something that's just a part of that franchise's DNA at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so Chicago Bulls, at one point in time, DeMar DeRozan was a MVP candidate, not no more. But King of the Fourth, he has definitely put us on his back. I believe he's had the most 35 plus points per game, 35-point games since Jordan, which is a major accomplishment. I'll be honest here. I'll kind of go ISO for a second. I'm not too happy with Zach LaVine. I feel like he never should have played in the All-Star game because he was hurt prior to that. And he's been hurt with a sore knee prior to the All-Star game. He played in the All-Star game. And he hasn't been healthy prior to the All-Star game. And it's even showing tomorrow he's doubtful with a left knee soreness. I don't need you. I don't have time for you to have knee soreness when we're in the final, 5 games of the season and we're jockeying for playoff position right now.
All right.
Aside from that, Billy Donovan. I like Billy Donovan. Quality coach, good foundational guy to, put the pieces in the right places. Not a championship coach. So I don't see him being there in another 3 years. On top of that, one last thing. 2 more things. I absolutely hate the lineups that he plays. I'm glad that Patrick Williams is back. And I'm glad that Billy Donovan has understood finally the light bulb has gone off. You cannot play Dosumu and you cannot play Javonte Green together.
At the same time. Oh boy, boy, when he do that, I'd be like, wow, man. I'd be like, come on, Billy, bro.
That's how we lose every game. I'm not.
Because ain't Javonte, is he undrafted?
Yeah, undrafted.
Okay, I thought so because I was like, I don't even know who this guy
is. Exactly.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but like how you said, y'all started off super hot, tearing up the NBA. Like y'all was looking like a juggernaut.
11-0.
but the injuries came. That's what derailed y'all season. All these terrible injuries. First it was Patrick Williams, he was out. Then Lonzo was been hurt like forever. It seemed like I don't remember last time I saw Lonzo play a game.
Right.
Zach went down with that knee soreness and stuff. I need him to stay back because my fantasy, I'm in the championship on fantasy and it's on the line. I got a whole bunch of players hurt and he's one of them, so I need him to stay back.
Mm-hmm.
Caruso been your second best on ball defender. He been in and out of the lineup with a wrist and some other stuff. Um, but he's back now.
Yeah.
He back. Williams back. Still in and out. Lonzo still on the sideline waiting for some updates about him. So I think I think that those injuries was killing y'all right now. But hopefully, if y'all get healthy within this week and a half before the playoffs start, and y'all let DeMar DeRozan, who has went from I thought he was on the downside. It was like he in his prime now. It's
Got a second
crazy,
life.
right? He got the Chicago. I don't know what it was. I don't know if he saw the Michael Jordan statue, got some inspiration, but he just turned to a whole other player. He didn't took his game up. This is the best I've ever seen him play.
Yeah.
Like it's like he's figured out how to score. He's learning the art of scoring, and like he's just putting it into effect. And you see it every night. And I'm like, bro, the shots he be making, the shots he take, they quality shots. They not rush. He play at his own pace. He mixes it up with inside, like into the goal and shooting those mid range jumpers and get to the free throw line. He like he's become just
it's Kobe-esque. Like
right.
how he's scoring. Like
Exactly. That's exactly how he's playing right now. He's just on a whole another mental level. That's why it's how he's reading the game and reacting and playing. So the only question I really have about y'all is y'all depth, because I don't trust the Zoom, Ayo, Javante. Who else y'all play that I'd be like Kobe be up and down.
yeah, he'd be up and down.
Y'all backup bigs. I can't even name one.
It's our backup bigs. It goes Tristan Thompson, and it's no kind of offense at all, and that's why it's so important that Patrick Williams is back, right?
Right.
Because and Pat's injury, right? First of all, I just want to kind of backtrack a little bit, and I do reserve the right as a fan to kind of backtrack pull back some comments. I was mad whenever we drafted Patrick Williams because we drafted the sixth man of the year from Florida State. Never seen him really play, so I shitted on the kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should have did that, but you draft somebody off the bench with the number 3 overall pick, I am going to be mad. So
I like Marvin Williams for the Hawks when they did that crazy stuff.
Craziest thing ever, right? But Patrick's his injury that he had was sick. It was gruesome. Patrick separated this. Well, he dislocated this thumb, this finger, and he broke his wrist all in one play. So we just chalked it up to, and that happened in game 5 of the season. So we were like, all right, pass out for the rest of the season, chalk it up on to the next, right? And at the trade deadline, All-Star break, I was saying we need another 4, we need another 5, we need somebody that's going to crash the glass, get the rebounds. Luckily, Pat is back, so that's cool. Then as soon as he was starting to come back, who strikes? Grayson Allen comes in and catches Alex Caruso out of there. Caruso lands on his wrist, breaks his wrist. Everything last pod, like we talked about, everything was 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. And Lonzo started his rehab. He started running and cutting. I don't think his knee is responding correctly. I just don't think it is.
Yeah, I think today or yesterday they say he just started back rehabbing now. So after sitting out rehab.
Yeah, they set him down for 10 days so he can get back to try and rest the knee, see if his knee needs more rest or whatnot. But with Zoe and Caruso being the starting guards, that is our Achilles heel, and I think that's our strongest strength, to be honest with you. Because I mean, if you look at the rest of the East, there's really no other 1-2 point guard, shooting guard that can really defensively like them two, they play the best defense. I'll just put it as is. Like on the wings,
Right.
they play the best defense, and I think they lock in. I think they lock anybody up except Kyrie. I think that's the only person they would have real trouble with. But hopefully we can kind of get it together. I didn't even want to mention Tony Bradley because he's just a body, and he is. That's why I'd be mad. And
Tony Bradley is a G League player, honestly.
thank you, thank you. Oh my God,
I mean, that's no disrespect. I mean, that's
it's
not a
not
slight. Not a slight. You still one of the best basketball players in the world, but you not good enough playing that level. He's a G League basketball player.
G League basketball player. Like he has no strength. He has no grit. He has no type of dog to him. Like if you 7 feet, at least be mean. Like like do something. I be seeing him he get bullied. He be getting bullied by boys at 6'8", and I be like, dog, like what's up with you, man? Like shake back.
At least be mean.
Do something, please. Like I just be mad. I'd be mad, but I'm emotional. The Bulls are my team, so I'm emotional for them. I picked us to finish top 6. For the most part of the season, we've been higher up in anywhere in between 1 through 4. Recently, we've been on this kind of skid. We can't beat anybody that's important. I'll say that. Any of the top teams, and please, for the love of God, if all the powers that be just stop putting us on national TV, because every time we get put on national TV,
y'all lose.
We get our breaks changed.
Every single time.
Every time, and it's embarrassing. Y'all embarrassing me, and never mind. So yeah. Any other thoughts on the Bulls before we pivot away?
Oh no, we can go to the next squad.
All right. And so coming up here, we got the Milwaukee Bucks. Big game that they had last night. They played against the Nets. They ended up taking down the Nets, 1-point victory. And in this as well, Giannis passed Kareem as the Bucks all-time leading scorer. What are your thoughts on this Bucks team as they're starting to get healthy and just what they've had going on here all season? As they've been consistent. They've been consistent.
At the beginning of the year, I feel like they was kind of just kind of coasting. They're winning, they're losing games they should have won. They wasn't really executing, like they wasn't really playing like the Milwaukee Bucks from last year. Like something, I feel like something was off. But Giannis, he's just gonna keep fighting through it. Like I think he was kind of off even at the beginning of the year, but mainly because he was tired because of all of everything was going on. And then he almost tore his leg off last year in the playoffs, so we forgot about it. We forgot he was even hurt.
Crazy.
So he still was kind of recovering from that. So, but Lopez got hurt. That hurt him for a while. It's they size, they stretch 5, they rim protectors. But Giannis and Drew Holiday, Holiday and Middleton. They just rolled them 3 to the. They just rolled them 3 out, and them 3 just played at a. They've been ever since like the little Rockets stuff. They've been consistent. They've been They've just been leading the team. Holiday getting on you on defense. Giannis bringing it on offense and defense. Middleton knocking down big time shots for him, giving everybody buckets, improving his game, showing that I'm at this level. Like these last couple of years I've been a fluke. Like this is where I belong. Like as a player.
Mr. Consistent.
I'm a top 25 guy. Like I'm a consistent all-star. I'm not one of these flashes in the pan. So with them, Lopez that came back. They just getting their rotation. They just getting their feet on them now, and they gearing up. They playing way better, more consistent. They shooting it better now than they started off shooting it. And like Giannis is just his game just elevated. He done worked on a jump shot. He got the turnaround jumper is what surprised me. He got a turnaround post jumper that be falling, mid-range falling. He had the confidence to do it off the dribble 3 to tie the game yesterday.
Step back 3.
Told Kevin Durant them up. Like if he playing against somebody where he know he's the biggest player, he's like, I'm going to get 40. Like, I'm getting 40. If I'm the biggest player, I'm getting 40. I don't care who it is. And
on the
then if
play.
I ain't the biggest player, I'm still gonna end up with 30 and 12. So he just been playing at an MVP level. I still don't think I don't think he should be the MVP, but we had a discussion about some people in the Western Conference who might should win it. But yeah, if Milwaukee gets back to the finals, I'm not gonna be one bit surprised because he is playing like the best player, and he is playing like one of the three best players in the world.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely up there, and I mean, I'm not mad because majority of the season it's been Embiid, Giannis, DeRozan for the top three in the MVP. Or I mean, others, and if you want to round out a
I
five,
had
you can put
Big Yoke
Big Joker. You can
and
throw
I had
Book.
Luka. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
throw Book, Ja, Joker. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
you can throw them boys in the mix, and I some people would say Chris Paul, but not this year. I think it's Devin Booker. Like Book, he's definitely taking that leap forward this year.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, that's pretty much my MVP list, and we'll do MVP. We'll do like coaches and awards when the playoffs and everything are set. But as far as the Bucks, like you said, it's Giannis almost tore his leg off, and I think he just spoke about this maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago for the first time.
Yeah, in that interview, in the article,
Yeah,
in the interview he gave.
and didn't he play in the Olympics as well?
I'm pretty sure he did. Well,
Well, I don't think Greece qualified. I don't think they.
I don't think they made it.
Yeah, I don't think they qualified. But if you can just imagine, if they would have qualified, I guarantee you,
Oh,
he
he would
would
have
have
been there.
played. Like he definitely would have played. But that's Drew Holiday coming off of the finals and then going to play Olympic basketball. Then Chris Middleton also wasn't Chris Middleton on that team as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got there late, man. Holiday got there late.
And yeah, all three of them and Book,
And Booker.
but I bring up that to say them boys coming off of what 10 months of basketball play, maybe 11 months of basketball play.
100 games.
Yeah, 100 plus games. Then you got to go through the whole Olympic experience on the
Mm,
other side of the world with adjusting
right.
your body to the time change. So I think that's okay for the Bucks to start off slow as they did, but they're one of the best teams. They're one of the top teams in the league. So not just the Eastern Conference, but the league in general. And they have one of the best player, if not the best player. So the Bucks, they'll be a-okay. I definitely expect them. I expect to see them in the Eastern Conference Finals, but to be determined, especially with how the bracket sorts itself out in the coming days. And so just kind of wrapping up the Eastern Conference here. Um, the play-in situation. It currently looks like we got currently the play-in situation. It's 7, 8, 9, and 10. The top 6 teams they are in. Currently, we got the Miami Heat at the top, the Milwaukee Bucks sitting at number 2, Celtics 3, Philly number 4, Chicago 5, Toronto 6. So the play-in situation is teams 7 through 10. Cleveland, Brooklyn, Charlotte, the Hawks. What teams in that playoff bunch do you think? Well, and what team, yeah, in that play-in bunch do you think eventually make the playoffs?
Definitely Brooklyn. Brooklyn's gonna make it. So I get 2 between 7 and 10, right?
Yeah,
I think Brooklyn's gonna make it. And who was number 7?
Cleveland, and they lost Evan Mobley for the at least the rest of the regular season. He got like a knee injury or something.
If Mobley isn't able to play, I got Brooklyn and I got Charlotte.
Because the Hawks, they're not the same. They're not the same team. I don't know what's going on. They're not the same team.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Charlotte because John Collins, I think his hand's still messed up. Number one, but yeah, they not the same. I guess they got hot last year, but then this year they brought back pretty much the same team. But I'm like, okay, y'all brought back the same team. Y'all really got breaks to get what y'all got last year. Like if Ben Simmons was 10% of a better player than what he would played 10% better, then y'all would have lost that series. So I'm a roll with. But all this depends on if Mobley healthy, I got Cleveland and Brooklyn. If he's not healthy, then I got Cleveland, and surprisingly, I got Charlotte because I think they gonna put up points. I don't know if they can stop people to get in the playoffs. I mean, play to win them games, but they definitely gonna score a lot. But it's gonna come down to if they can guard on the other end.
Yeah, that's definitely what it comes down to. So I definitely have both of those same two teams. We didn't even talk about this prior, but we definitely have those same two teams for the playing situation. So that pretty much wraps up the Eastern Conference there for that side. And then over here on the West, uh, it's kind of surprising how things have kind of went topsy turvy in a sense. The Suns claimed the number one seed. I believe they claimed the number one seed in the overall playoffs. So as they have the best record, I believe they got about 60 wins. And this season it's shortened due to I believe the powers that be chopped 10 games off of this year. So I believe everybody's playing 72 games, just to kind of get the NBA schedule and calendar back on track, because we're still trying to recover and get things back right from COVID. But the Suns have the number one seed. Chris Paul has missed some time uh, post All Star break because he broke his hand or he did something like or broke a finger or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on the Suns right now? As they lost, they did lose to Memphis tonight without John Murray.
For some reason, honestly, I still have a hard time believing in the Suns. Like I don't know why, but for some reason, I'm like, man, they really won 60 games, but it just don't feel to me. It don't feel like they kind of feel like not like those Atlanta teams. They kind of feel like more of those Darren Williams Jazz teams
Ah,
to me. Like yeah, they used to win like 50 something, 55, 53 games every year. But they'll get like to the third round, second round, and kind of start faking. They'll get knocked out around the second round, third round. That's kind of how I get the feeling I get about the Suns somehow. Maybe because they don't. I don't know. I don't see. I don't know. I just don't. It's just something I don't see from it. They got great guard play with Booker and Paul. Campaign comes in the bench in the game, does his thing on the bench. They everybody make threes. Everybody can shoot on their team. Everybody make threes.
yep.
But I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just because Jay Crowder's on their team. I don't believe in him. I don't know. But it's something. It's something that's keeping me from believing that they are just heading like they're just the best team in the league. Devin Booker has stepped his game up because Paul been gone for I don't know how long. And name Mr. B, he just started taking over the point guard responsibilities and like he's a fit to me. He's a superstar. Like from what I see him do and how I see him control the game and take over. Him and Aiden just them two together. That's a bad combo for the future. So, but I still have a hard time believing because I'm like, do they have enough? Like, can I like off the bench? Like, it's Campaign, Cam Johnson, and who else come out the bench trying to shoot for? What Torrey Craig still on the team? I think.
Torrey Craig is still there.
Like, I can. Are those three? Is that the people I'm gonna roll with? And then Jalen Smith off the bench, as a backup big. Like,
Yeesh.
oh no,
Yeesh.
they got Biombo.
Bismack, yeah, they got my
Chris
guy Bismack.
Chris
That's
Paul got
that's who we should have in Chicago. But
that's because Chris Paul done got him a new contract. You play with Chris Paul and you a center, you gonna excel.
get
So
paid, young. We get paid.
right. I just have a hard time believing that once they play like those bigger wing players, they get to the finals and meet up with a Giannis again. They meet up with a
Joker,
LeBron, Luca, who
Joker,
was
and the Nuggets.
Joker, who was the big wing guy, KD. Like, or can they beat teams with like those elite scoring big wing players? So that's just a question mark for me. But they doing their thing. Money, I guess listen, Money knows something. He got something good going over there. So hey, it, it's just I don't personally believe in them.
I understand, and so that I've actually, pardon me, excuse me. I actually thought about this. And last time we potted, I said that the Warriors were still my favorite, but that was and that wasn't me thinking that the Warriors were actually going to be healthy and they had everybody together to get everybody together. Not so much, as we're going to talk about the Warriors coming up, but I actually got Phoenix back in the finals. And with Kyrie being able to play, I got Brooklyn and Phoenix in the finals. That's what I have. How it shakes out. So I still believe in the Suns. I think that they're. I think this is the year that Chris Paul finally gets to the finals, and whatever happens from there, it happens from there. But um, that would be a one hell of a matchup. Chris Paul versus Kyrie in the them two going at it. So that would be fun to see. But I still fully believe in the Suns. I think that their only obstacle would be Memphis. Um, it's just something about them boys in Memphis, bro. Like they get to it. Like they get to it. They don't care. And I love what Josh said. Josh said we climbing up the chimneys. Like we want action with anybody and everybody. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but I think Memphis has to go through one more heartbreak or one more tough playoff exit or L, because of Memphis, they're not going to be able to pay everybody coming up too. Small market, they're not going to be able to pay everybody. But I still roll with the Suns. I like what they got going on, and I think this is the end. This is because we're so used to Chris Paul getting injured late in the year, and
Mm-hmm.
I think this is that finally that one time where you hurt, or last year, didn't he had COVID and he had an injury, right?
Yeah, he got hurt in the playoffs against the Lakers.
Yeah, and so I think
Hurt his
this
shoulder.
injury, yeah, this is finally that time where, okay, I've had that injury, I got it out the way, cool, home stretch of the year, so let's go ahead and wrap it up for that. So wrap it up for him to finally stop being hurt and things of that nature. So I think this is finally the year where they get over the hump.
Yeah.
So how good is Memphis? Like, how good is the Grizzlies? Like, championship team, Western Conference Finals. Do they just make it to the finals, or what you think? Because they be over there wilding in a good way.
I I don't think they're a championship team yet because I don't think they have that second scoring option that if Ja is off or if he's getting
He's compromised.
yeah, then I don't think they have another player who can really get you consistent, who can go out and get you a 30, but consistent. Like if you need them to get 30 in like two or more games in a 7 game series, I don't think they have a second player can do that. I don't trust Jaren's not there yet. Bane is a good player, but I don't think he doesn't have that ability yet. Brooks, I wouldn't trust him to get the 30 like that. Um, but like to me right now, they're kind of like one of those college teams that just like play real good together. Everybody like each other. They get along. They play they play sound basketball though, and that's the good thing. That's the surprising thing. As such a young team, they play sound ball. They got all none of their guards really turn the basketball over, and
Right.
because this is how I know that there was gonna be a problem for teams. They had that one game, no Ja. It was the fourth quarter. I can't remember who that's playing, but it had 7 minutes left in the game. From 7 minutes left till the game ended, they turned the ball over one time.
Wow.
The only time they turned it over was Bane was driving to the goal and somebody stripped him and hit it off his leg and it went out of bounds. Only time they turned it over in 7 minutes ever close.
Wow.
Oh, they're playing the Nets, matter of fact.
That's
Playing the
mark,
Nets. And
mark of a good team.
right. And they had Bane playing point guard. I'm like, that's your starting shooting guard can handle the ball and take over the duties like that and against the Brooklyn Nets with Kyrie and Kevin Durant and y'all still win and y'all only turn the ball over one time with in 7 8 minutes. I'm like that's a good basketball team. So
Yeah.
if they do get to the final, I wouldn't be surprised because I've seen they don't they do the little things. They do all the little things you need to do. Get the loose ball, don't turn the ball over, make your open shots, hit
Yep.
your free throws, uh, be aggressive, get into the goal. they guard everybody on their team can guard. They move the ball, they unselfish, they do all the things you would want a championship team to do. So if they do get there, I wouldn't be surprised. If they do win it, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think that second scoring option, somebody who can give you a 25 or 30 when your best player ain't got it that night, I think that's what they missing. But they 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 ahead of schedule. Ja, this was his third. This on his third year, fourth year.
Third year.
This on his year three for him, and he's already playing at the MVP type level already. So Memphis, yeah, they looking real nice.
Yeah, Memphis looks good. They definitely look like one of the teams of the future, and I think that their coach, I believe it's Taylor Jenkins, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I like that coach.
And yeah, I think if I'm correct, I believe he comes from the Spurs, so he comes from Pop's tree, and which they're like the exciting Spurs. You know what I mean? Like
the athletic Spurs.
There you go. And Ja has a lot to do with that, but at the same time, everybody on that team scores the rock somehow, some way.
Mm-hmm.
Milton, Baines, Jackson, Brooks he's like
he averaged 20 like last year or the year before last.
Yeah, he's like Jimmy Butler B minus. You know what I mean? Like he's not bad, and he's still got so much more room to grow in his game. So Brooks is pretty good. So I mean, Memphis is definitely one of those teams of the future.
Mm-hmm.
So this here brings me up to we pull up in Dallas, Texas, right? And you say, yeah, we about to go watch the Mavs play. We about to go watch the Mavericks play, right? And just this isn't real. It's just like, like hypothetical, right? You got Luka. You got your boy Dinwiddie. And then you have like a whole bunch of dudes that them two just like pulled out of the stands. It was like, yo, like y'all wanna like ball tonight? like and somehow Dallas is like
they were the fourth seed?
Yeah, they like top 5. They're currently they're the 4th seed because they lost tonight, but they were number 3 at the beginning of the day. So what's up with this? What do you see from this Mavericks team? Have you seen any improvement from Luka? Or like what you think is going on? What's up with this Mavs team?
Man, Luka just that nasty. Like I still don't know how he do it. He play at his own pace. He just know how to hoop. Like he just a basketball player.
Yeah.
He's just a hooper. He know how to score. He know how to get people involved. He know how to control the game. He just that cold with it. That's why I got it. If I had an MVP vote, I moved him as MVP because I'm like, even though Jokic, I like him too, and he's doing everything. He does got to do everything. But Luka, the impact he got, I'm like, bro, his second best player is the backup point guard, which is Jalen Brunson. Like, his second best player come off the bench. Yeah, his third best player. I think they want to come off the bench too. His third best player come off. Best player come off the bench. Yeah, and he's winning with guys Maxi Kleber and
Tim Hardaway Jr.
Finney Smith,
Powell,
Dwight Powell.
There's a whole bunch of dudes. It's just a whole bunch of dudes.
A bunch of like the Saints Peter coach said, just a bunch of guys. Just some guys. Shout out to the Peacocks too. Matter of fact, I root for. They should have beat North Carolina. But yeah, just they just got a bunch of guys, and they got one mega Hall of Famer, top 75 should have been already person, and Luka that he just that night nasty. Jason Kidd just, I guess the system he's installed kind of has Luka not turning it over as much, has him playing smarter, and not working as hard. I would say because people used to always say, "Oh, he has a bad he not in shape and this and that." But I guess from when I watch, I think how the system is, he does a lot, but he doesn't do a lot. If that makes sense. Like he over dribbles sometimes and he goes 1-on-1, but he doesn't do that as often as somebody like a Harden does, or how much it looks like it in the flow of a game. He really doesn't do that much extra. The moves he does like precise moves. He don't really waste a lot of dribbles too.
Right.
on his move. So that's why he can get to the goal and keep doing it at his size, and if no matter if he in shape, out of shape, or whatever. Um, but he just carrying him, putting him on his back, and Brunson helping him out, and then with it, this is a guy who I wasn't the biggest Spencer Dinwiddie fan, never been, but I watched him with the Mavericks. I remember him with the Nets. He had like a good year, and I was like, all right, whatever.
Right.
But seeing him how he came in and just dominant, excelled in this role, especially when the games Luka been out, he cut up.
Yeah, he do.
I'm like,
He be
okay.
tripping.
I gave it up. I said, all right, he is what some people be telling me he is. 'Cause I got a homeboy, we argue all the time about him, about dealing with it. I just man, he ain't that. He was like, you gonna see? And I was like, okay. And then he got the Mavs, and I saw, and I was like, okay, you know what? I was wrong. So yeah, I just
And shout out
it's
to
just
Myron. Shout out to
big
Myron.
Luca,
Shout out to Myron. That's the only Mavs fan I know.
only Mavs fan in the world.
Yeah.
I guarantee he's the only Mavs fan outside of Dallas.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Myron because it's literally the only Mavs fan in America. Outside of the greater DFW area.
You know, ride with Dirk like it ain't nothing. Like how many black people just ride with Dirk? He rode with Dirk for but he rode with Dirk. Just know that
Until
while
yeah.
Kobe Bean, Bryant, and Tim Duncan and Vince Carter was T-Mac and Iverson was flying through that air. He was riding with Dirk.
Yeah, and so you bring up the not wasting dribbles thing, right? And this is the thing between Luka versus James, right? James Harden. Luka is dribbling, and we talked about this last season. Luka does so much dribbling, and we wanted him to dribble less and do a bit more distribution, but he's dribbling more, but he's reading everything. Compared to James, James is dribbling to break you down and to get his shot. Compared to Luka, where he's dribbling to break everything down. It was something that happened. Something happened the other night. Luka got caught up underneath the goal. I was for sure, like I went back and I watched this maybe like 10 times, like the replay like 10 times. I was for sure Luka left his feet and up and down, right? He upped and down. And I was like, did they just miss that? But no, his fakes are so good. Like he pump fake and went up, but he went up with one leg still, his pivot foot still planted. He went up, faked it, his defender stayed planted. Then Luka was like, okay, couldn't get him with that one. Luka hit him with a ball fake, then pat the ball on homie back, then laid it up off the glass. I'm like, I'm like, what is going on? It's something that like your uncle would do to you. You know what I'm saying? Like while y'all out hooping.
I did see that.
But yeah, Luka's special, man. And I read something today that if Rudy Gobert becomes available, then the Mavs are going to try and trade for him.
Wow.
Plus we'll get into my Utah hating in a little while, but yeah, it's Utah. And I'll leave that there.
Honestly, I don't even see where I didn't make no. I remember Utah being on our topic list. I didn't even have a ticket for them in my
exactly. It's all I'm here to do is really just hate on Utah. I'm gonna be honest with you, because it's Utah. Like
they gonna get to the second round and they gonna lose.
And everybody is gas the Jazz. We believe in the Jazz. The Jazz could do the Jazz.
No,
they're not gonna do nothing.
And they couldn't do nothing with Carmelo. What makes you think they're gonna do something with
Donovan Mitchell,
Rudy Gobert,
and Bogdanovich? Like, stop it, please.
And Royce O'Neal.
Yeah, come on now. Hassan Whiteside is on that team. I don't need to see nothing else.
If Royce O'Neal is starting for your team, that lets me know to stay your team.
Yeah, you're doing. It's rough out there. So yeah, I'm pretty much not going. I have nothing else to say about the Jazz. We can go ahead and get that off the list right now.
Shout out to Donovan.
Yeah,
Louisville product.
Yeah, shout out to him. But maybe this is me hating because he's in Utah, but y'all, you know how I feel about Donovan. I think he's a bit overrated. But maybe in another situation.
Yeah, we got to move him to see.
Yeah, maybe in another situation he might be a bit better. This here brings us to the Warriors, right? The Warriors haven't been healthy all year. We started the year missing Clay. Clay comes back. Draymond gets hurt. Draymond comes back. Steph gets hurt. And Steph was just reevaluated today, and they said they're going to take a look at him again next week. And Steve Kerr is hoping that that Steph, he can get at least 1 or 2 games in before the season ends, just so he can get his legs back underneath him and everything. So James Wiseman, he's been ruled out for the rest of the year with his meniscus tear. His rehab has not gone well at all. It might be getting close to time to talk about bust for him. Maybe next year, or maybe in this offseason, we can talk about a potential bust. But man, can you imagine what that would have been? That would have been LaMelo, and
I would have drafted LaMelo so fast. Like, and this ain't hindsight. I said it back then. I said, wait a minute, I can have 3 guys that can give me 30 points like on any given night. Give me that any day over Wiseman.
Yeah. So Wiseman's out for the rest of the year. The Warriors have not had a healthy team at all this entire season. They're kind of like in the situation with the Bulls in a sense, as far as health. But they're still hanging around. Still the number 3 team in the league. We know Steph is the best shooter of all time. Clay is top 5 shooter of all time, if not 4. Top 4 of all time. What do you think? What do you think is going on with the Warriors? Do you think the Warriors still have championship Well, they have championship aspirations, but Draymond's been vocal about how the team plays terrible defense, and he's even said himself like he sucks. Like, and everybody listed plus minus and everything, but basketball players know there's other things that go into the game. So, what do you think about the Warriors?
Well, let's start off at the top. Let's start with Steve Kerr. I think he made a huge mistake with the Klay Thompson stuff. If I was him, Klay Thompson has played basketball another 2 years. For me to get him reacclimated into the system, plus I would have brought about the bench to start. Plus Jordan Poole was playing so good. I'm like, what are you trying to force Klay in for 25 to 30 minutes for anyway?
Right.
Let Poole was on fire. He's cooled down some, but he's still, averaging probably like, I don't know what he's averaging, probably still about 16, 17 points a game. But I think that messed up a whole bunch of light of their chemistry, like low key, because now we gotta adjust to Klay. Now we gotta get Klay adjusted to us. And now we have to adjust to Klay instead of Klay adjusting to us.
Yeah.
Because once you put him in the starting lineup, now you gotta make him get his shot. He has to be a focal point because he's out there. But coming off the bench, he's not the focal point. He's just a piece. And then it's easier for him to go from being a piece to a major player than being a major player dropping back to a piece. So I think Steve Kerr dropped the ball right there.
Yep.
His in game adjustments are not low key. They haven't. I don't know what he's doing. He just lets the players play it out way too much sometimes. Like he lets Steph take some terrible shots, like way too fast in the shot clock. He doesn't have stuff to get other people like really involved. Like he'll throw a random Andrew Wiggins post up and he'll call a random Andrew Wiggins post up play. But other than that, it's not really. I don't know. Maybe because Klay just getting back, it's not really the same. That the
It
offense,
don't look the same.
yeah, it don't look the same. It don't feel the same. The offense and the defense, they just been playing bad defense. I mean, the only way you can fix that is by playing better defense and practicing it. So, Looney, I've never been a Looney fan. So when he out there, to me, that's easy.
Like, the chicken alert.
Your center gonna have a good day, and the guards that's driving gonna have a good day. So they got to get right. They don't have no real rim protection now. It's KD gone, and Draymond can't jump like how he used to.
Yeah.
So that's it for that's where I think that's where it started at. And then obviously the injury, Draymond hurt him for a while because that's your second playmaker right behind Steph. That's the guy who the offense goes through. And then I think another thing is Steph is pressing. Like once he started gunning for that 3-point thing, he his shot has been like off ever since he started doing it. So and it's like he just every night he's like, man, my shot's off. I gotta get it back, gotta get it back, gotta get it back, and he just keep pressing. And when he's pressing, it's not like he's taking quick shots. He'll go get over half court. Yeah, get over half court, go between legs one time and just shoot a three. I'm like, wait, Steph, like you're not in a good rhythm. He don't even get that. So he's pressing, well, because he knows he kind of got to make up for those points that Clay can't score like how he used to, and Poole his rhythm since he's gone back to the bench, and his minutes have been chopped into with like Gary Payton Jr. and Moses Moody and Kaminga is going. He's the guy that they probably gonna be working around and within the next couple of years to make him a player. Because to me, he looks just like how Iguodala used to look when he was younger.
They have their next score. They definitely do.
Yeah, so they gonna work on it with him. But yeah, Golden State is it's gonna be rough on. It ain't looking good for them.
Yeah, Golden State definitely just does not look the same at all. And Draymond's injury is because he had I think it was originally a calf injury, but whenever they did the MRI, they noticed that's whenever he had the herniated disc in his back that was causing the calf injury. So you're dealing with two injuries at one time on major parts of your body. Then you don't have training camp. You don't have a real summer with everybody. And then you have unexpected, pleasant surprises in the way Jordan Poole has played, a pleasant surprise in the way Gary Payton Jr. has played. Because the first, I think, 2-3 months of the season, GP2, he was looking good. Like he looked like he might have got 6th or 7th man minutes. You know what I mean?
Right. He was looking like a second team All NBA defender. Like that's how good he was playing.
Yeah, he was looking really good. You know what I mean? But it's getting to the point where it's looking a bit. I'm not gonna say I'm not saying the Warriors fans should hit the panic button. That's not it. I think the Warriors, they can still make the second round of the playoffs. But I think they'll definitely get in trouble by the time that they run into somebody like Memphis. And they're gonna lose anytime that they because they don't have a true big.
Right.
Looney's gonna get beat up. Draymond's gonna get beat up, and it is what it is with that. So I think the Warriors are their window is closing. I'll put it like that. I'll put it like that. Their championship window is closing. And in regards to Steve Kerr, I totally echo it once again. I would have never brought Clay back into the starting lineup. I would have brought him off the bench, balanced him, give him about 20, anywhere between 22, 25 minutes a game, 28 minutes, give him that kind of ceiling, unless it's just his night and he cooking. Then you give him, 30 plus minutes, whatever the case may be. However, that's a big mistake on their behalf, and I think we definitely see the chemistry issues going forward now. In the home stretch here, any thoughts on the Denver Nuggets?
Jokic is something I've never seen before, and I need to start appreciating him more, and everybody else do too, because he is one of the most unique basketball players we're gonna ever see.
Yeah,
that's all I got. And that's all I got.
They're still missing Jamal Murray. They're still missing Michael Porter Jr. I feel like they're missing somebody else, but they have a really good team. I don't think the Nuggets are really much of a championship contending team, and so I'll just leave it at that. But Joker is literally one of one. Rebounds the ball, then brings the ball up, runs the fast break himself, finds everybody, he has different spots on the floor where he is automatic. I was about to say butter, but automatic is really the best word for him. So I would say him,
Town and KD, they anywhere on the they can be effective anywhere on the court. Like no matter where you put them at, like if it's close by the goal, if it's mid range, if it's 3-pointer, all offensively, everything on the court. And I throw Embiid in there too, to a lesser degree. But it's they can anywhere they a threat anywhere on the court. Once they cross half, once they get right by the 3-point line on offense, and it's insane.
Yeah, he definitely do. Any thoughts on the T Wolves as they're hanging around? They're at that 7 mark right now. Any thoughts on the Wolves?
I love their confidence. I love I love their confidence. Uh, especially with Anthony Edwards, then Karl Anthony Towns. And finally, he's backing up. He's becoming more physical. He's setting a physical tone under the goal against teams. So I like that. Yeah. I like their confidence. Like I said, the only thing is with them, they play. I've watched one. I've watched one of the games for sure. It might have been two, but one game they play too free. When I tell you, I've never seen a team shoot so many fast shots in my life. Like they shoot faster than the Suns teams. Like 8 seconds or less, we shoot in 5 seconds.
Oh
D'Angelo, what D'Angelo Russell? I get on the let it look like I'm open. I'm shooting. I ain't never seen anybody on their team just gonna jack it up. They really jack it up. I ain't never seen a team shoot like how they shoot. But hey, that's how they coach wanted to play. I'm like, Coach, you ain't gonna call the timeout. He be like, nah, that's how I want them to play. I want them to play free like that because they all young, they all athletic. He's like, look, we gonna run, we gonna jump, we gonna shoot these threes, and that's just the tone. That's just when you come to Minnesota. That's what you play Minnesota. That's what you getting.
That's how we playing.
Yeah, I mean, I like them. They finally getting back to their respectable level, like when KG was there back in the old days.
Yeah, that's a fact. It's at this point they're kind of like a professional AAU team, right? Just how they just run up and down the floor. And I love Anthony Edwards. He might be one of my favorite he's one of my favorite young players right now. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
He has some of the most upside his upside is
ridiculous.
Right.
Ridiculous.
The ceiling is the roof of that man.
All right, and then we got that's the Wolves. We already hated on Utah. I could care less about anything else going on in Utah. But shout out to I've got a couple friends that moved up to Utah, so shout out to them. Other than that, yeah.
Trying to stay with young boy.
And I got we got any thoughts on the Clippers getting PG back?
Two thoughts about the Clippers. Ty Lue and that team, I like their makeup because they stars been gone all year and they still in the playoffs. They don't care. They play basketball. They play as a unit. They play structure. So shout out to Ty Lue, the Clippers, and Paul George coming back. I wouldn't be surprised if they upset a couple people, maybe in one or two rounds in the playoffs like they did last year.
I think they last night just continues to show just like what the Clippers are. I enjoyed the complete meltdown that they had. I believe the Clippers were up on us by like 22 or 25 points or something like that last night. They blew it, but that's what happens whenever you let your foot off the gas. You can't let that you can't have those type of things going on, especially whenever you're in the home stretch. Similar to what I say with the 76ers losing to Detroit. You can't have that happen, not at this point in the season, especially whenever you're on the bottom side of the Western Conference and you're trying to you're jockeying for playoff position. But their loss is my gain, so I'll take it every time. The Lakers are currently playing right now. The Lakers are currently playing the Pelicans, and this is the part of the show here where it's kind of up in the air. I currently have 103-104 with 4 minutes to go. What you got on your side?
103-106, and Anthony Davis just missed the free throw.
Okay, so yeah, you a little ahead of me. So, we're potentially looking at a Lakers Pelicans play-in matchup because to be honest with you, I don't think the Spurs just have enough to get there. to get into the plan. Well, to really just get into the plan. To be honest with you, I think they're gonna drop a couple down the stretch. Do you want to go Pelicans first, or do you want to go Lakers first? Which one you want to go get into?
Uh, I mean, I'm gonna keep both of them, sure. But let's do Pelicans first, so we
Okay,
can finish wrap it up.
with the Lakers.
We'll wrap that. But yeah,
Okay. All right. So with everything that's going on that's surrounding Zion, right? Zion hasn't been around the team. He's been rehabbing in Oregon or Portland or just he's been away from the team. And there was a whole bunch of hoopla. Like it just kind of came out of nowhere, but like around a little after the All-Star break, right?
yeah.
And it was like a 2 week thing or a 3 week thing of that. Then all of a sudden it was, oh, Zion showed up in New Orleans and he's at a church and he's did XYZ for the community. Plus at the same,
Walking dogs in the store or something like that. He was doing.
yeah, and it's like, yeah, I saw that caption of that picture, and that was, I'm gonna leave that alone. What that caption said, but yeah, he's just like out in the community and everything all of a sudden, and plus how the people of New Orleans did him, and like they put him on a float, and it was like 1 ton. I was like, come on, bro, like that's a young bull, man. Like, yeah, the fool, man gotta eat. Man gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I'm not mad at nobody for that. But the Pelicans made the move for CJ. Brandon Ingram, I believe he's been injured, so the Pelicans have kind of slipped, but they look really, really good. Well, not let me take one of those really away. They look really good. With Brandon Ingram, CJ, and believe it or not, Valanciunas actually looks pretty good. Plus the young dude that they signed the extension for. I forgot his name, but he does like a real sneaky thing, like high school thing, where like he acts like he's. It's
Bro,
like
he in my top five most. He in my top five most hated right now. That dude, I
somebody
can't.
needed 5 minutes of fame with him, right?
Bro, he in my top five. He might be number one right now. I don't like him at all.
Yeah, he's been playing well, so he just got a big deal. I think he signed a $4.5 million deal or $3.5 million deal in order to stay with the Pelicans for the foreseeable future. Now, with all that being said, if you throw Zion in the mix, where and plus, let me just add a little bit more context. The franchise said that they're going to shut Zion down due to they just don't evidently. I feel like it's a clash in between how he feels with his body and what the front office thinks with of where he is with his rehab. But if you throw Zion in the mix right here, I think you easily put the Pelicans in the mix, right? Like I think that they actually take the Clipper spot, and they have the number 7 or 8 spot secured. What you think?
Yeah, because you'll be adding somebody who can give you 25 points a game very efficiently. On top of what you just got with CJ now, you got a, a guard who he can give you 20. Ingram give you 25. Well, CJ can give you 25. Ingram give you 25. Zion could give you 25. Valanciunas give you a good 15 and 10 every night. Herb Jones, defense. They if they all play together, they would definitely. I do believe they'll be fighting for that. That 7 through they'll be fighting for that plan, that 7 through 10 spot. But it all depends on. Well, for the Pelicans, I don't expect them much of them this year. I think they're gonna if they do get into the play and they gonna lose and that'll be it for them. But it, it's all about next year for them. Can they does Zion want to be there, and can they improve, become a good enough basketball team where he would want to stay there? Because if he don't stay there, that team is liable to be sold. It's viable for relocation. Like uh, is a lot of stuff hinders on whether Zion Williams stays in the water. Like he can change that whole franchise history just by his decision to stay or go. So that's all the Pelicans need to be worried about is developing it next year. But they got a lot of young talent. Herb, Murphy, Ingram still young. Willie Green, heck of a coach. I like I like what they could be. So hopefully they can keep Zion there and build on that.
Yep, agreed. Hopefully so. I hope so because I mean, um, if Zion decides to dip out, I mean they've invested a lot into him. Um, Everything from marketing to everything outside of the arena, things just around the city. And I hate that the good people of New Orleans have treated him the way that they have, and I know that they're ready to see him on the basketball floor, as many of us are as well. But um, you just kind of have to lean on what somebody says and how they feel about their body. You know what I mean? So hopefully so. Hopefully we see him on the floor sometime soon. And oh boy, leads us to our final topic here. The Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron's been hurt. Anthony's been hurt since Valentine's Day. Tonight is his first game back. The Lakers are currently sitting at the number 11 spot. They're outside of the play-in, looking in. And we know any team that LeBron James is on, that team is looking to win a championship, or they have championship aspirations. But the Lakers are kind of strapped. The Lakers are kind of strapped here. Like it's not this. They don't have much wiggle room at all for this season, this all season, or next season. So it's. What are your thoughts on the Lakers here and for this season, and then we'll get into what they could do this summer.
Well, let me list off the things that's wrong with him this season. That's what I've seen, in my opinion. Okay, Vogel should have been gone because his rotations are terrible. His rotations are horrible. Like they have a new starting lineup every day, on top of having the most random lineups in the game. If you have Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James at 38 years old protecting the rim, you ain't got no good team on the basketball court. You are asking to get 40 points put up on you per quarter, just like how they've been having the last couple weeks. Mm-hmm. So number one, he should have been gone because his rotation is terrible, and he not getting nothing out of the team like to make them want to give more effort. Like we can see, you can see it that they just like he's kind of tuned out. Like it's like they're waiting for him just to go. So I would have been kicked him out of the team. Plus, like all this kind of like fall under Frank Vogel, but they play wrong. They old. They need to play slow. They be trying to get up and down the court, back up threes, shoot fast. I'm like, y'all too old for that. Y'all need to walk it up, slow it down. Y'all scores need to be in the low 90s. Like this the early 2000s, late 90s. Y'all need to be trying to get them 90, 95 to 90 win games. Not no 115 or 122. Y'all ain't built like that. Y'all can't. Nobody on that team can shoot a three. Nobody on the team can make a jump shot. Nobody on the team can make free throws. Nobody on that team can post up. Like this team stinks at every aspect of basketball. They are horrible. They turn it over. They turn it over. Don't play defense. They miss free throws. They can't shoot threes. They can't shoot jump shots. They can't drive to the goal. What can y'all do? It's a terrible basketball team. Just like how they were just up 103, 106. Now they're down 112, 108 with a minute and a half left to go to the dang Pelicans. The Pelicans.
They about to blow it. They about to blow it.
They do this every day. So they just an old, bad basketball team that was constructed bad. Russell Westbrook has been garbage. The whole team is the THT is unplayable off the bench. Dwight Howard don't get no minutes, but he's your only center.
Dwight Howard shooting threes.
Man, it's
abysmal. Oh, it's abysmal.
It's so bad. I'm not a Lakers fan, but I like watching the Lakers. I like watching LeBron. But now I watch it mostly just to see how many points LeBron gonna get, and I watch it for comedy because I'm gonna see something. I'm gonna get a laugh. I get the most laughs out of a Lakers game than I get out of sitcoms. This is my sitcom. When this come on, it's must watch TV for me.
The Lakers are on TV 3 times a week. National TV 3 times a week. Like
and they lose every time.
Every single time. You know what I'm saying? Like
I call them 15 because they gonna get down 15. Yes. Every game I watch, they get down 15 real quick. watch that first quarter. They're gonna be down 33-17 every single game. It never fails, and they can't come back because they can't shoot and they can't score. So,
No free throws,
bro,
no defensive stops.
they can't do nothing good. They turn it over. This team it's terrible, but it's hilarious to watch. So yeah, that's all I got for them for this year. They bad and they hurt and they injury prone too. So yeah, they bad.
I don't think they make it. I mean, well, I'll say this. I think that they do make it. I think make it to the play-in situation. I think that it gets dicey. It gets really, really dicey. I think that they end up with a play-in game because I mean they played the Pelicans on Sunday. They're playing them again today, being Friday, the first, and I think that's where their play-in situation just leads them to is their current play leads them to a play-in situation against the Pelicans in order to get into the playoffs. If I remember how that format is laid out, because I believe 9 plays 10 and 7 plays 8 or something like that.
Yeah, 7 play 8, 9 play 10, and the loser of 7-8, I think, plays the winner of 9-10, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just how it's currently constructed, because the play-in situation in the West, it goes 7, 8, 9, 10, Minnesota, Clippers, New Orleans, and San Antonio currently at this moment. And so over on my side, it's got about 15 seconds to go. I think the I didn't get a chance to see that score, but
I got 112, 111. It's New Orleans ball, New Orleans up with 15 seconds left.
Yeah, so it looks like it sounds like the New Orleans about to shoot some free throws here and kind of put this thing on ice. So and if I did see the Lakers schedule kind of flash across the screen, they got Denver twice. They got Denver twice, Phoenix once, Golden State once, and the Thunder once. Realistically, unless Denver and Phoenix and Golden State they sit players for rest for the playoffs, the only winnable game is the Thunder game, or possibly one of those Denver games. That's it. I don't have much else for the Lakers. I'm kind of like exhausted with the Lakers this year. I'll be honest with you. From how many times they're on national TV to how much the national media is talking about them, I'm kind of exhausted. So I'm out. I'm out of the Lakers.
Yeah, and for the future, make it quick. I don't know what the heck they gonna do. All those old people they got on the team gonna be gone. They have no young assets. Nobody wants THC, preferably because he's not that good, as we clearly see. You look, I tell the people all the time, it's a lot of people that look good when you got 10 to 12 minutes, when you're playing 10 to 12 minutes game.
You look good.
You look good. Come up. Oh, look at him. He does this. He scored 9 points in 8 minutes. Oh yeah, he can average 18 one day. No, he got those 9 points off fast break layups, and he shot, and then he shot 2 sets of free throws. That's how he got 9 points. He ain't do nothing spectacular. So now once he gets revved up to 20 minutes and 25 minutes, you see, oh, this is why he went so low in the draft.
The production goes the other way.
Right. Or it stays the exact same. He hasn't he ain't got no better. They relying on Stanley Johnson. This is like his 5th, 6th team, and he only been in the league like 7 years. Wenyen Gabriel, they just signed him off the street. Austin Reeves is probably their most complete basketball player outside of like the superstars. And he was undrafted. Ariza ain't worth a pecan no more. Dwight Howard ain't worth nothing no more. Kendrick Nunn ain't even played a league, but they was waiting on him to come back. I don't know why people thought he was gonna say it today. He couldn't get PT in Miami. Carmelo, old, all he can do is shoot jump shots. Can't play lick of defense.
Malik Monk.
Monk is a good prospect.
They can't pay him though, so
I mean,
he gonna take that bread. He might sign with Memphis.
Well, the Lakers, they can find money for him. Maybe not as much as another team might be willing to throw at him because he's so young. But he's somebody I would keep around because he can get hot, he can score, and he can handle the ball sometimes. But other than him, only people I'm trying to keep is AD, Bron, Monk. I would keep Reeves just because he's a glue guy. Yep. And
blow everything else up.
Oh yeah, Avery Bradley, like
I'm a
your
holler.
time, your time up, Russ. Your time up.
Been up in LA.
Your time is up. Who else over there on that Ben DJ Augustine? We just signed you 2 days ago. Your time is up.
I'm a holler at you, baby.
Who else is? You know it's bad when DJ Augustine got to be in for the last play of the game, and he just came out the bench. He was out the league 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron.
Everybody's got to go.
LeBron for the tie. Airball. Game over. All
Game
right.
over.
So yeah, it's the Lakers are trash right now. So that's just fair. I'm done. I'm done with. I'm done.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those situations here with the Lakers. I think it's just a wrap. Time to stick a fork in them. You know what I mean? It ain't much more. It's not much more like Lakers talk that you can really have. Like it's just over with. It's just over with for them. And I wish it did turn out a different way, but not this year. Not this year. So to pretty much wrap it on up, we will be back. Well, any NCAA talk you want to have real quick? Because I'll be honest, I haven't watched a lick of college basketball this year. I have no clue what's going on. I have absolutely nothing. You got anything on college basketball?
Well, ever since the Peacocks went down in horrible fashion, well, I picked Duke to win anyway. So you see they still in there. Coach K gonna make sure they win this last one before he get on up out of there. Yep. It's been a real good.
The fix is in.
No comment.
Put your money on Duke.
I got the I'm retiring this year. I got the number one recruiting in the nation and possibly the number one pick in the draft. Yeah, y'all know what to do. You know to put the money on in Vegas.
Leave the money at the back door.
Right. So I already knew what was gonna happen. But yeah, the tournament been great because it's like almost all the teams are like equal this year. Like this is the first time I ever seen this much parity in college basketball, and it's only gonna get better with the NIL because you can go anywhere and get paid. So this year been great. Seeing Kentucky lose to the Peacocks was hilarious. Seeing Purdue lose to the Peacocks was hilarious.
Yeah.
Seeing LSU lose his whole entire basketball team is sad.
Crazy.
Shout out to Money. They finally caught my boy Moneybag Will. They finally caught him.
They cut ties. They cut ties with Moneybag Will, man. That was my boy too. That was my boy right there.
Money. Cool. You know his real name is like Frank William Wade.
I believe it. I believe it.
I was Google. I used Wikipedia and I saw. I think it's like Frank Wade. I was like, Frank Wood. I don't even know what it might not even be William. I don't know what his name. I don't know what his real name.
Moneybag Wade. That's his name.
Moneybag Will. Moneybag Will gone. All our scholarship basketball players transferred. So yeah.
Even Sharif is transferring. Cool.
He could transfer. Not even gonna speak on street.
Next comment. no comment. He didn't have the transfer. He might go to TSU, you know what I'm saying? Go over there, go hoop like his sister on the ladies team, you know what I'm saying? You might go to TSU, you know what I'm saying? Do the HBCU thing. If you do, salute to you, young O'Neal brother. And that's all I have to say about that.
Man, Sharif his game should have him at Nickel State University. That's what he need to be signed and transferring to. But look, he's talking about transferring. I'm like, boy, they would have let you walk. You didn't have to say you transferring. You could have just left the team. They're like, oh, Sharif ain't coming back. Oh, okay.
Oh, Sharif ain't back? Oh, okay. We got another jersey.
They're like, oh, this number 20, whatever number, 32, 23, whatever number.
I think he went 24. I think he took Cam Thomas. Cam, oh no.
Something like that. They were like, I know somebody wore the jersey last year. Oh, well, give it to the next guy. Because, yeah, but
Hey, y'all seen Sharif? No. Never mind. I'm done.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was very interesting this year. Yeah, I'm watching it tomorrow having a crawfish bowl, watching the game tomorrow. So I'm gonna be living it up. Big chilling tomorrow and enjoying all this basketball coming in.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. And a little bit of news here, just as we were preparing for the show, I did see a couple basketball inductees to the Hall of Fame. It looks like I saw Swim Cash is going to make the Hall of Fame.
Well deserved.
I see Tim Hardaway Sr. is going to make the Hall of Fame.
How he got there? No, I'm just playing. I had to go. No, like I had to go do research on Tim Hardaway to see the number because I was like, I remember he was good, but I didn't think he was that good. But his numbers, like, you really can't deny him when you really dive into him. His first 10 years in his career before the knee injury.
Mm-hmm. So we got Swim Cash, we got Tim Hardaway, we got Manu Ginobili, which inventor of many moves. Yeah, many moves. So well deserved. I say Manu is well deserved. You got Bob Huggins and George Karl. So those are the five that are going to get in. That's what it is showing, and that is from NBCChicago.com. And so yeah, that's pretty much all I have on my list. And you got anything else over there on your side before we go ahead and wrap it on up?
No, not really, but for some random reason, there was a lot of injuries in the NBA this year. Like a whole lot of players had missed a lot. Bill, Dame, Josh out now. Murray ain't come back. Like how you said, Porter was gone. Zion.
Evidently, Ben Simmons is hurt.
Yeah, like injuries. There's a lot of injuries that happened this year. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what it was. People ain't in shape, or people just cold come back from COVID and all that. I don't know, but yeah, a lot of injuries this year derailed a whole bunch of teams. Mm-hmm. And we're gonna see how this play out the playoffs.
And especially with KD, because I saw the other night they played against Detroit. I think Stewart stepped on his foot after a jumper. Yeah. Then last night, I forgot the player, but KD was in the corner shooting at three, and somebody ran into his ankle. The same ankle that was just stepped on the night before or the game.
Oh yeah, before. Didn't he say something comment about that after the game or something?
Yeah, he said I'm hurting, like I'm hurting. So that's we're gonna note that, we're gonna put that in put that feather in the hat, and we're gonna monitor that as well. That kind of goes along to your point with him playing all those minutes early in the season, you know, and
Steve Nash don't give him no break. He don't care. He just leave him out there.
Listen, Steve Nash gave KD a hug, and that might have been like, that hug meant everything. You know what I mean? Because that means you just saved me. You just saved my job.
Right, you saved my job. Thank you.
Yeah, man. So I appreciate everybody that's tuned in to this episode of the Perspective Podcast. You can catch this podcast on all of your DSPs, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Google Play, wherever you listen to it's even up on SoundCloud now. So wherever you listen to your podcast and you get your entertainment, make sure you check us out. Subscribe to the pod as we're back in full rhythm. We'll be back whenever the playoff picture is fully set. And also we may even have a bit more NCAA talk here, as it's a bit more easier to focus in on 4 teams instead of the field of, what is it, 62?
64, I believe now.
64. So yeah, you see, I'm all the way out of the loop on college basketball.
I might be wrong too.
But until next time, Tevin, I appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, making time for this as well.
Anytime,
and so until next episode, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I go by Mardy Lee. That's Tevin. Till next time, y'all. Peace.